Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Julian Grace. Well, today is a beautiful start to our holiday weekend, hasn't it been? But our chance for rain is going up for parts of tomorrow. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione joins us in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look at what we can expect. Anthony.
Julian, as we head through tomorrow, a lot of us are going to see at least a dry start to the day. But once we get probably, I would say, after 3 p.m. and especially tomorrow evening, we're going to start to see those chances go up. 70% chance of rain tomorrow night. Then we get to Monday, Memorial Day, starting off the week next week, or at least the holiday. It does look overall mostly dry, which is some good news. Let's put this into motion, though. Here's Futurecast, our high-resolution model we go through tonight. A little bit of cloud cover starts to fill in. We are dry overnight tonight and through at least the first part of tomorrow. Starting off, I do think this model's a little bit underdone with our cloud cover. We're probably going to see mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, maybe a peak of two of some sunshine. 6 o'clock, though, and as early as about 3, you notice some of that rain trying to sneak up closer to the triangle. Our northern counties are likely dry. From the triangle to the south, we could see some scattered showers pushing in, and they will fill in tomorrow night into early Monday morning. Of course, Julian, we're watching Memorial Day also very closely. We're going to go over rain chances for Monday and then many more on the way into next week coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Anthony. We will check back in with you in just a couple of minutes. Well, we're following a developing story out of Sampson County this evening. A man is dead after being shot by deputies following a chase. Now, all of this happened at the intersection of US 421 and Kitty Fork Road at around 9:30 this morning. That's where we find WRAL's Willie Danley. And Willie, what can you tell us about this shooting?
Well, Julian, WRAL has been out here for hours. This incident happened around 9 this morning, and the scene just cleared within the last hour. It happened just over there next to this gas station. We spoke to a woman who says she's the cousin of the man who was shot here by a deputy. She says his name is Billy Fairclough Jr., and he's 38 years old. Take a look at this video. This is what was captured by the WRAL breaking news tracker. You can see some of Fairclough's belongings left behind here at the scene. We were told by the Sampson County Sheriff's Office that deputies were pursuing a motorcycle for a register violation. While in pursuit, deputies noticed that that driver of the motorcycle had a firearm. Eventually, the driver of that motorcycle lost control here at the intersection of US 421 and Kitty Fork Road and crashed. He drew his weapon, and a sheriff deputy then fired his service weapon, hitting that suspect. Deputies immediately attempted to administer first aid. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. We spoke to a cousin of Fairclough who tells WRAL she's hearing conflicting stories about how the events unfolded, and she wants answers.
He did what was asked, and there's 17 casings on the ground. After he was asked to disarm his firearm, it just don't make sense. If you know anything, say something. This could be your family member.
I spoke to an employee at this gas station who witnessed this officer-involved shooting. He says he's still shaken up after what happened here today. We have reached out to the Sampson County Sheriff's Office to learn more about the deputies and the man killed in this officer-involved shooting, and if those deputies will be placed on administrative leave, as is typical in an officer-involved shooting. We're going to stay on top of this story. In Clinton, Willie Danley, WRAL News.
Still so many questions about that investigation. Let's go here. A Lowe's food worker died after she was hit by a car while collecting carts in the parking lot yesterday. The Clayton Police Department says 52-year-old Ann Granfield was in critical condition after the crash, but died from her injuries at Wake Med in Raleigh. 56-year-old Charlie Walker Jr. is now charged with 1 count of misdemeanor death by motor vehicle. Around our area, people are gathering to remember fallen service members ahead of Memorial Day. In Johnston County, the Rotary Clubs held a ceremony this afternoon honoring heroes. They're raising more than 1,500 flags sponsored by community members. The money raised by the Flags for Heroes display goes towards scholarships, Rotary Club service projects, and supports local nonprofits and small businesses. In Wilson and Nash counties, Jan Mills has been placing flags on veterans' graves for 30 years. Now, it was a tradition that started when she was a Cub Scout leader. Mills and her grandchildren, along with volunteers, now visit multiple cemeteries, searching for graves without flags and making sure no veteran is left behind.
I started doing small family cemeteries and just grew and started. Then we do more. We put out about 400 or 500 flags every year.
We appreciate you, Miss Mills. Now, Mills says placing the flags is her way of giving back. She hopes the next generation continues the tradition of remembrance long after she's gone. I bet they will. In Orange County, the American Legion Post 6 honored our nation's veterans with a flag placement ceremony this afternoon. And this morning, local scouts joined the ceremony, planting flags at the graves of fallen service members at the Chapel Hill Memorial Cemetery. Now, Legionnaires we spoke with tell us it means a lot to know the younger generations respect and understand the importance of service.
To respect our veterans and to let everyone, and what I really enjoy is the younger kids, they'll come, the scouts, these other organizations, they come and do it and understand how these men and women have served our country.
This is so great. American Legion Post 6 will host a Memorial Day event on Monday. It will be open to the public at the Post facility on Highway 54 in Chapel Hill. Memorial Day weekend is also known as the unofficial start to summer. And summer travel is ready to begin. A lot of people are hitting the roads and skies this weekend. AAA expected more than 1.1 million North Carolinians are driving and more than 114,000 are flying over the holiday. WRAL's Megan Glova joins us in the WRAL Live Center with a look at travel conditions right now. Megan.
Julian, looks like most folks hit the road this morning because tonight we're seeing a whole lot of green on the traffic map. Take a look at this. No delays, really no backups here. 2 possible crashes, but a closer look at I-40 at Garner Road shows just how swiftly cars are moving on the highway. Now in the air, let's take you over here. We've seen worse at RDU, 35 delays and 0 cancellations at the airport. Do keep in mind if you are flying to not delay your trip anymore by forgetting that real ID or another proper form of identification.
Great tips as always, Megan. We appreciate you. Well, a reminder, law enforcement, they're urging drivers to buckle up this Memorial Day weekend. The governor's highway safety program, Memorial Day Click It or Ticket campaign, kicked off this week. It runs through June 1st, the annual statewide campaign that promises safe driving by buckling your seatbelt. So far this year, 158 unbelted passengers or drivers died in crashes. This is National Safe Boating Week, and the Wake County Sheriff's Office is urging everyone to make boating safety a priority, and not just this weekend, but all summer long. With warmer weather drawing more people to our lakes, rivers, and waterways, deputies will be on patrol to help ensure boaters are following the law and making safe decisions on the water. Deputies say, just like with drivers on the road, boaters should stay alert when on the water.
You're wanting to have fun. People are, people are pressuring you too, because this, as you can see behind you, there's tons of people here on the water, on boats, tons of things going on. So the distractions are high. So you just got to be on your game and ready and concentrating, and don't let somebody kind of push you off your game when it comes to making sure you're safe, making sure you have the right things before you get to the water.
Push you off your game. Sergeant Main has more details to share with us. He says, wear a life jacket at all times when boating in open water. Avoid heavy clothing in the water. Watch children closely. Please never leave them unattended near water, and stay sober. It is illegal to operate any boat while under the influence. Memorial Day weekend also marks the start of the summer travel season. If you're flying to your destination, especially if it's out of the country, experts say there are some precautions you should take, both to stay healthy and to get proper treatment if you or your loved one has a medical emergency. For instance, be sure to pack a traveler's health kit.
Over-the-counter medications like acetaminophen or ibuprofen, sunscreen, certainly, especially in the summertime, insect repellent, more or less important depending on location, but always good to have. And hand sanitizer, still important for hygiene.
It's also important to check in with your primary care doctor before your trip to make sure you have the right vaccinations and they are up to date. World-class playground. Coming up, we're getting a sneak peek at this. The new Gibson Play Plaza has it to offer at Dix Park. You got to see this. It is beautiful. Plus, making history, we introduce you to the first woman to play baseball in the Coastal Plains League. Look at those beautiful skies in Cary, downtown Cary. People out enjoying the day. Well, welcome back. Take a look at this. It's being called a one-of-a-kind landmark for Dix Park in Raleigh. Today, City Park employees and their families got a sneak peek of the Gibson Play Plaza. The nearly 20-acre recreation area has been under construction for more than 2 years and is now just days away from the official opening. WRAL's Flynn Snyder has a tour.
Across the Slide Valley and in the fountains, Raleigh's tiniest residents getting their first chance to see the massive, nearly $70 million Gibson Play Plaza at the entrance to Dix Park. 9-year-old Susanna Scheffel was among the first to take part.
I like it. The slides are the most funnest.
There's a swing terrace, sensory maze, market, and picnic area for families.
Well, at the peak of this park is an interactive system of pulleys and levers that both kids and adults can enjoy to learn about the historic Yates Mill in Wake County.
A $10 million donation from the plaza's namesake, Tom Gibson, helped pay for the play area.
It's a learning experience as well as a playful experience. And that's something that's important that we do to our children.
Money also came from a mix of private donations spearheaded from the Dix Park Conservancy and the 2022 Raleigh Parks Bond.
There is no other park like it in the Southeast United States.
Raleigh Parks Director Stephen Bentley says the plaza marks a milestone for Dix Park, with plans to transform the 300-acre park into one of the country's premier public spaces.
Well, when businesses move to Raleigh, they're looking for great schools, housing, and quality of life. So great parks are essential to that component. In our 10-year history, we are now at a really great crossroads for the park.
With excitement from children also comes excitement from officials that the Play Plaza will boost visitor numbers and spur nearby economic activity. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Don't you want to go? The Gibson family, they are making such an impact. Now, the Play Plaza, will host a series of public events, including a festive ribbon cutting on June 6th. Write that down. A Holly Springs Salamanders player is making history tonight. Alexa George will become the first woman to start at a Coastal Plain League game. The catcher just finished her senior season playing baseball at St. Elizabeth University. The Salamanders are facing off the Carolina Pirates. The game gets underway at Ting Stadium at 6:30. All right, here's a reminder to be careful about what you leave outside when you spend time on the coast this summer. The Corolla Wild Horse Fund says they got multiple calls about a horse with a ladder around her neck. They were able to find the mare, and eventually the ladder fell off when she leaned over to graze. Neither she nor her foal were injured. Now, if you find a wild horse in distress on the Outer Banks this summer, call the Wild Horse Fund. They want to hear from you. Glad everything was taken care of with that beautiful horse. Anthony, what a beautiful day to be out by the beaches.
Such a nice start for our holiday weekend, Julian. And tomorrow looks pretty good, too. We have a little bit of some rain to talk about here in the next few days, but I want to start us off with this picture. Look how nice. Just so relaxing for us to get us started this evening. Beautiful shot there, a Carolina Beach camera. Just everyone out there enjoying. Water temperatures at the moment are in the mid-70s, so we're starting to see them warm up here as we go through the next little while. Here's the forecast, though, as we go through tomorrow. So I do think the majority of the day on Sunday for the majority of our coast is likely to be dry. This is going to be kind of the last completely dry stretch, I would say, before we start to get some rain chances increasing into Memorial Day. We're at 78 Topsail, 78 Emerald Isle, or 77 Emerald Isle. The Outer Banks probably in the mid-70s, I would say, feeling relatively comfortable, but those rain chances start to come in closer to the evening. So if you do want to head to the coast, or if you're at the coast enjoying, most of the day is looking pretty good. Monday, that starts to change up. It's a pretty wide swath there of rain and some storms likely, I would say, with temperatures still in the, let's say, low to mid 70s for the majority of the coast, and then upper 70s as you head toward, let's say, Myrtle Beach. Here's the mountains, also looking at some decent rain chances. Again, focused toward the evening. If you're headed out at, say, lunchtime, you should be okay, but then the rain chances really start to ramp up. 64 degrees there in Boone, 76 in Bryson City. We're at 72 in Asheville as we head into tomorrow. And again, looking at some pretty decent rain chances by Monday. With that said, here's our high resolution model. Let's put this into motion here, kind of time out what we're expecting. Tonight we are quiet, no issues as far as rain. We will start to see a little bit of that creeping up into South Carolina by the time we get into tomorrow morning. There is 8 a.m. Again, the mountains are looking fine. fine. The coast is looking fine. We go through the day, though. That system is going to slowly creep up to the north. There's 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. We could see a little bit of light rain approaching the triangle to the south. And by light, it's going to be extremely light. This is not necessarily a big, heavy system. It's just going to be some light showers coming through. That'll continue tomorrow night. We get into our Monday morning, also seeing at least the potential for some light rain, but very, very limited coverage. We go into our Memorial Day. There's 2 o'clock when that high-resolution model cuts out. I'll take you to a little bit of a longer range one there. Still some very light rain showing up, but if you have plans at all on Monday, I would not change them. I think we're going to be okay. There could be a spotty shower coming through. No thunderstorms, no severe potential, and very limited coverage. Tuesday at 8 a.m. there, you can see as we head through, let's say the morning hours looking pretty similar. We get to Tuesday night and into Wednesday, that will be a different story. Wednesday is looking very, very wet at this point. If you're traveling back home, just keep that in mind. We're at 77 though right now in Raleigh and Durham, 76 in Rocky Mount, also close to 80 in Fayetteville, not quite there. I think our temperatures tomorrow probably will reach the low 80s. We're going to go right at 80 tomorrow afternoon. 70 on Monday, 60s by the time we get into Tuesday. With that cloud cover, a little bit of light rain. We get to Wednesday, Julian, even Thursday, Friday. Those may be days we'll have to watch for a severe weather potential with those warmer temperatures. That's something we'll keep our eye on, but looking pretty good here through tomorrow.
Yeah, we are looking good. Thanks, Anthony. Pat, it is not over, right?
Technically, it's not over, even though it really feels like it through 2 games. So gut check time for the Canes. How Carolina can bury the first 2 and get back on track. Chris Lee joins me for Keys to the Game next.
Fans chanting, shoot the puck. Only 7 shots for Carolina.
The loudest house delivering a loud and clear message. Shoot the puck. 17 shots in Game 2, the lowest in the Rod Brind'Amour era. Brind'Amour changing up the vibe for Game 3. Pyotr Kochetkov will start in net. Now, he did play the 3rd period of Game 2. The defense in front of him could be an issue, though. Jalen Chatfield and Sean Walker are game-time decisions. So gut check time for Carolina. The fan base and the team is shell-shocked after Florida's 5-0 win Thursday. Rod Brind'Amour said sometimes it's easier to just turn the page. Nothing positive from that game. This group has been through a lot, and he can't think of a time when they haven't responded.
Clearly, it's obvious. This has been a tough stretch for us here. So we gotta, we'll see what we're made of here. And missing guys doesn't help, but that's all part of playoffs.
We've been, through a lot as a group, and I think I like the fact that we've how we responded throughout the year on different things, and obviously everyone knows that if you want to make a deep run and win this thing, is you're going to have some adversity, and this is clearly ours.
Don't forget to join me, Chris Lee, Luis Fernandez, and former Cane Shane Willis for WRAL's exclusive post-game live show tonight. We're starting at 11:15. And speaking of Chris Lee, here he is.
Here we go.
Chris, quest for the cup, a little bit more like quest to just win an Eastern Conference final game.
Quest to not get swept.
Yeah, 14 straight losses for the Canes in that round. How do they snap the streak tonight?
Yeah, I think starting off, Sebastian Aho has to be one of your better players. Already 11 points here in the playoffs, which is really good, but only 4 goals, right? So we need him to score a little bit more because the Canes need to jump out to a lead, and we need Sebastian Aho to probably do that first, because once you get down 2-0, 3-0 against the Panthers, that team doesn't let you come back, and it's already over. Sebastian, put the team on your back. You're the alternate captain. Score early, score fast.
He almost had that goal in Game 2, but offside. So to me, it all starts with the forecheck, Chris. The Panthers are getting out of their own end way too easily, and Carolina can't establish any puck possession. That's what they do. You heard the fans shoot the puck. Can't do it unless you have it. Hockey, a lot like football. Who wins the line of scrimmage wins the game. So far, it's been all Florida. Canes have gotten off script. They need to stick to their game. Trust the results will come, Chris.
All right, so my next key is Pyotr Kochetkov, right? We talked about Freddie Anderson. He did a pretty good job, but it's not his fault that the defense let a lot sneak by him. But the Panthers have so many finishers that he wasn't able to make those spectacular saves that he made in the first 2 series. Kochetkov needs to come in and do exactly that. Make those spectacular saves, the ones that you dreamed about growing up, the ones that you you absolutely practice in your backyard, Coach Chekhov, make sure that you get your hands and your blockers on everything.
Yeah, especially early. Got to bail them out so they can find their legs. My last key, stay disciplined. They cannot afford any bad penalties. We've seen this 2 games in a row. First, Sebastian Aho got caught retaliating. Then Andrei Svechnikov dropped an unnecessary elbow. And Florida scored on both of those power plays. The margin is too thin. The penalty kill has shown some cracks, Chris, so they can't afford that. They got to get and win the special teams battle, Julian.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I think they do it tonight. Thanks, fellas, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here later tonight. Have a good one.